Let's get in here. Let's get it cracking. Let's start it off. As always, Bears fans, let's start it off with some Bear Dons in the chat. Hate to see it. Not that we weren't expecting it, but you definitely hate to see it. What's good, everybody? How y'all feeling? Let me know how you feeling in the chat. Bear Don. The problem is we were Bears fans well before Matt Nagy. We will be Bears fans well after Matt Nagy. You hate to see it, don't you? We're masochists at this point, right? We're just masochists at this point. Oh, man. Shout out to the fine people over at Martinelli Originals, though, man. They give us these lovely Chicago Bear hairs. Make sure to check them out in the description below. Let's break down this game, shall we? At this point, does it even hurt anymore? It's just more like it's numb. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the end of the John Fox era. Where the Bears would lose, but you knew going into the game they would lose and you were just numb about it. And maybe you had some ill-conceived thought process where you were like, you know what, maybe these things can fall into line. And you would just be like, maybe this will happen. Maybe it'll work out for us. Maybe it didn't. It still hurts, but I feel like it hurts less when you just expect it. Oh my God. I mean, they came out. The defense seemed like they had nothing. The defense basically offered you nothing tonight. Your offense was your offense. I mean, still putting up 25 points. Okay, a little more impressive than before, but for the most part, Mitch made poor decisions for pretty much all of the game. All of those interceptions were terrible decisions on his, and I felt like I was almost trying to give him something in the beginning. I mean, that first drive, he really made two good decisions, and then A-Rob doesn't come down with that catch, and Cole Kmet doesn't come down with the other one. But other than that, this team is still they don't have a quarterback. You don't have a quarterback. You have zero quarterback. There's no commitment to the run, and you got down so early that you can't even go back to the run. David Montgomery was actually having a game where I was like, yo, I'm actually impressed with my mans today. But you got down by so much you couldn't even go back to him. It's tough. Is this a game, Steve Newton in the live was good, is this a game where you come back to it at the end of the season or even after tonight where Matt Nagy is no longer the head coach of this team after this season? Is this that game? Because I think all of the other games we could say, yeah, he was bad here, but the offensive line didn't do this. Yeah, this is a COVID year. These things needed to happen. No, this was a game that if you look at the past, how the Packers were playing in the past, yes, Aaron Rodgers had been great. Devontae Adams had been great. But this offensive line had not been great. Now, losing Akeem Hicks is big, but you basically did not touch Aaron Rodgers all night. An offensive line that has been up and down all season, you did not touch Aaron Rodgers all night. They lost their starting center in the second quarter. You did not touch Aaron Rodgers all night. We saw a defense that quit. We saw a defense that gave up because they knew that the offensive side of the ball was not going to continuously give them production. That's what we watched tonight. Is this the end? Is this the end? Not even just of the Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace era, but is this the end of this defense? Is this the end? bad. Bad, bad, bad. And now apathy's starting to set in. A lot of people that just, they don't care anymore. There's a lot of people out here who just do not care anymore. And when your fan base start, oh my God, could you imagine if there were fans in the stands for these games? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is one of this is honestly, to see the transition of a team that came from the beginning of the season to they're a team that never gave up. They're a team that never quit. The offense wouldn't quit. The defense wouldn't quit. To now when everything is going in the wrong direction. And literally at halftime, we pretty much saw this team give up. Literally by halftime, we pretty much saw this team give up. This is the worst effort I've seen from the defense all year, and they did not come out and give any kind of effort in the second half. Any kind of effort in the second half. And when you look at the end, now I understand that, yes, it's garbage time points. Yes, Mitch put up his garbage time points, but you finally got an offense that scored over 21 points. Heck, if you make it any closer, at least you give your team an opportunity. But there was no heart in this game. I saw a Bears team with no heart today. And I have not seen that probably since the John Fox era. I've not seen a Bears team with no heart since the John Fox era. Now, by me saying the Bears scored over 21 points, that's not a good thing either. Yes, it's better, but your offense was still not good. Mitch still made very bad decisions. Mitch still threw the ball. Are we back? Is the audio back? We back? Y'all hear me again? Let me know in the comments. Can you hear me? All right, we back. All right, we back. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. It's been a while since we've gone live. By the way, if you're in the live right now, please like the video. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. Pretty much what I was saying was that it's not better. It's just a different kind of bad with Mitch in there. You still had poor decision making. You still had balls that were underthrown. You still had balls that were overthrown. You still had balls that were thrown behind receivers. You still were setting your receivers up to take shots that could get them killed. But we can stomach it more because we see more points on the board. But no, it's still bad. I don't know exactly who says it, who said it originally, but when you have two quarterbacks on your team that you feel should be the starting quarterback of a team, you have none. And ladies and gentlemen, we have none. We have zero quarterbacks on this team. And guess what? Did the line play a little better? Because I know I'm going to hear that. Did that O-line play a little bit better tonight? Yeah, I don't think we talked about the O-line as much. It looked a little better with Mitch behind it, but still bad. Still bad. Just a different kind of bad. So, yeah, we can switch it from Mitch to Nick, but it's still bad. It's a different kind of bad. That's the problem that we're facing here, guys. That's the problem that this Chicago Bears team is facing. When you look at this game today, was it different? Did the Bears look at times like the offense moved down the field? Yeah, they did. Mitchell's legs allowed him to change up what the defense was able to do. But he still put the ball in bad positions. He still had a couple 3-and-outs there. He still had a couple balls that should have been easy completions for an NFL quarterback in his 4th year. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. And we're just talking about the picks that were there. We're not even talking about the ones that definitely should have been intercepted, but the Packers decided to just bat those down. Bad. This team is bad as a whole, and it's affected the defense so much that the defense has pretty much said they're done. So now we look to, is it time to move on? Is it time to rebuild? And I'm going to be honest with you, I am not a fan of rebuilding the team itself, because when the team is bad, tanking just does not work in the NFL. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Because if you're tanking, that means that so many, you have to be bad at so many positions to tank that you have to fix every one when you're trying to get better. In all honesty, think about how long it took the Cleveland Browns to get a competent team, and really, they just got a quarterback who's kind of okay. Who's a little bit better Mitch Trubisky, and they went and got free agents to put around him to make him better. Tanking in the NFL really does not work. And so I don't want to see Bears teams that are 3-13, 2-14, because those teams aren't going to get you where you want to go. There's too many pieces you got to fix. So I would rather see you bring in somebody else. And yes, Kid is gonna be surprised by this, but it might be time to get Matt Nagy up out of there. It might be time to get Ryan Pace out of there. I'm not saying that it wasn't time before, but I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm Virginia McCaskey after this game, I lean over to George and I say, fire whoever you gotta fire. We'll pay for it. We'll deal with it. Let Juan Castillo or Bill Lazor or whoever you want finish coaching out this season, but I don't want to see any of this anymore. And I'm the person who's come in and said that Matt Nagy is probably a good head coach, is probably a good leader of men. But tonight, I saw a team that gave up on you. I saw a team that gave up on you tonight. I haven't seen that from this Bears team. I saw a team that gave up tonight. And to me, that's worse. Because that tells me where you are. That tells me where you are. That's tough to watch, man. That's tough to watch. Definitely ready for Bulls season. Definitely ready to be on here talking some Chicago Bulls with you. Shoot me some questions in the chat. James McClendon in the live, shout out to you. Jim Harbaugh will be available. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, my boy. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, my boy. Now, Pat Fitzgerald is an interesting name that I've heard. Jeffrey Smith, no, not time to rebuild, retool the offense. Keep Nick Foles, draft another quarterback. Fire Pace, fire Nagy. Mitch going to be someone's backup QB. Possibly. I'm not mad at any of those scenarios because you're looking for a quarterback. And if you guys saw my video where I'm talking about, the number one reason that the Chicago Bulls have not found a competent quarterback, go check that out. The Bulls, the Chicago Bulls, the Chicago Bears. Yeah, that tells you where my mind's at, right? Why the Chicago Bears have not found a competent quarterback, check that out. We need to address this offensive line first and foremost. You need to find pieces to address this offensive line. I'm sorry. I've seen great offensive lines take bad quarterbacks and make them mediocre. I don't care if you come in the next season and you pay Mitch $500,000 to be here and you make him the starter. Fix the offensive line. Because if you fix the offensive line, the offense will definitely turn around. The offense will definitely turn around. If you're on the live right now, like the video, subscribe to the page. We talk Chicago Sports Weekly. I'm more on board for a retool. I'm much more on board for a retool. Because if you retool it, you're not blowing up a defense that, I mean, tonight they gave up on you. It looked bad. But we know over time this defense has been good. It's been Super Bowl caliber. But if you keep punching me in the mouth, eventually I'm going to put my hands up. And the Bears offense and the Bears defense has continuously punched the Bears defense in the mouth. Stephen Buckner, sell the team. Oh, I wish. AD from the 100 Airs podcast. Why is the play calling in garbage time better than the rest of the game? Oh, that's easy. They don't care. The defense doesn't care anymore. They're giving you that. That's way easy. You can call whatever you want in garbage time. That's easy. It's tough to see, man. It's tough to see. Mount Gooley, Chuck Pagano, bro, got to go. I ain't gonna lie to you. Chuck called a horrible game tonight. But a lot of us, and I'm gonna say us too, but cause I've been up and down on Chuck. A lot of times we look at Chuck and we say, why aren't you blitzing more? Why aren't you doing more to attack the quarterback? Why aren't you sending these guys in pressure? One, we saw him blitz tonight. They still didn't get to the quarterback. So there's an issue there. There's some disconnect there. And two, when you look at, say he does blitz. We saw it tonight when he did blitz. And they pick up the blitz. Now you're leaving your coverage out to dry. And we don't have an offense that can recover from giving up a big play down the field. Because say they go for a 40-yard touchdown to start the game off because we're blitzing. Are y'all confident that this offense is going to go down and put up 7? I'm not. So I'm not as mad at Chuck on not blitzing as much, because I think that that's probably the right thing to do in most case scenarios. Now, this is the other thing. When you rush 3 towards Aaron Rodgers and you drop 8 in coverage, you would think you'd be able to cover somebody. I'm just saying. Cover somebody. Maybe they should put Mac back at his natural position. It depends on what he's playing. To me, you got to see more. Sean to Washington, the defense checked out tonight. They're frustrated and tired. That's obvious. Absolutely. I think to me that's the biggest thing with this team. You know, the fact that you've taken a defense and literally burned it out. You've taken a Super Bowl caliber defense on one side and you've literally burned it out. I mean, honestly, they have nothing left to give for you because they're saying we can hold teams to 18 points and you'll score 17. And to me, that is a direct reflection on Matt Nagy. Since he's been here, we've scored 21 points now 19 times. He's been here for 3 seasons. We've scored 21 points 19 times. 21 or more. 19 times. That to me is inexcusable. Because it tells me that, one, you were calling the plays when most of the time we were scoring under 21 points. And now, in the time that you've given the play calling to somebody else, he's not good either. These are guys you picked. Matt Nagy, you wanted Nick Foles. You wanted Bill Lazor. You wanted Juan Castillo. The great Juan Castillo. These are your guys. Now, do I think that Matt Nagy can be a leader on a team? Do I think he sets an excellent culture? Yeah, but culture ain't translating to W's, Matt. I think if I had to split it up, I would say 60-40, 60 on Ryan Pace, 40 on Matt Nagy. But it's a big 60 on Ryan Pace. So to me, Ryan Pace is the first guy that needs to go. Think about Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace was upset when he didn't get the chance to draft Marcus Mariota. Paid money to Mike Glennon. Skipped over 2 Hall of Fame potential quarterbacks to go get Mitch Trubisky. And then gave up a ton of draft capital to bring in Nick Foles. I don't want Ryan Pace to say the word quarterback in Chicago again. I don't want Ryan Pace to think about sitting in a draft room to pick a quarterback ever again. And as far as Matt Nagy, listen, like I said, 60-40. Yeah, Matt's at blame too. But here, this is very much like the Bulls with Fred Hoiberg, ain't it? Was Fred a bad coach? Nah, he had his faults. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't great. But hey, how about we give him some players to run his system? Nah, that's okay. That's tough. It's tough. It's tough what we've seen here. I hate that we're at this point. And changes are going to come. This loss tonight, I don't care. This is what you got to think about. Virginia traveled for this game. Virginia McCaskey got up and left Chicago for this game. She traveled to go see this team get blown out early. Yeah. There's going to be some heads rolling after this one. There's going to be some heads rolling after this one. Would this be different if we signed Cam? No. Still no offensive line. Still no offensive line. Baki, Pat, remember a few weeks ago after a game you talked about how Matt Nagy sets great culture. And remember what I said, culture means nothing if we're not winning and performing on the field. You're right, bro. You're right. You're right. I was wrong. You're right. Now, I do think culture means something, but it's not translating to nothing. And heck, your culture went out the window tonight because your team gave up. Visibly on the field, everybody in America saw the Chicago Bears give up. So what's your culture now? That's sad, man. That was a sad one to watch. Let's break down. Throw me some more questions in the chat. Ted Phillips has to go. I'll say this. If Ted Phillips is fired, I'm not mad at it. If Ted Phillips isn't fired, I'm not mad at it because, and hear me out, because he pretty much had no say in this one. Now, before, yeah, Ted Phillips had a say in it. He had a big part in it. But in this recent one, Ted Phillips had no say. You got to find the right foot. They're going out. They're looking for football people to help them build this thing up. You got to find the right football people to help them build this thing up. Because you had Chris Ballard in your building, and he wanted to get rid of Jay Cutler, and you were like, oh, we can't do that. We can't lose Jay. Well, guess what? The Colts look pretty freaking good. Matty Matt, you going to react to Bulls games? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do Bulls reaction as well. We're going to do Bulls reaction as well, bro. Maybe not every game, but for most of the games, we're definitely going to do Bulls reaction. I'm going to let you guys know. I'll let you know in the community tab before if I'm going to do a post-game reaction to the Bulls game or not. By the way, check out the community tab. I post in there all the time. You can see the channel. You can see stuff from the page on that. It is going to be... I'm going to be more prevalent in that, kind of posting on it like it's Facebook or Twitter or something like that. So you can see all of the updates for the page and stuff like that in there. Did Trubisky look better than Foles? Different. Not better, different. Different. It's still bad. To me, bad is bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, was Foles bad? Yeah. Foles couldn't move. Foles was getting killed. In this game tonight, Foles would have died. For sure. Did Mitch look better? He moved. He moved. He threw 2 interceptions and no, what did he throw? Let me get the stats here. Was it 3 interceptions? But he did different things. He did different things. But it still wasn't good things. You lost 41-25. Let's see, Mitch. 26 for 46, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks, 3 rushes for 11 yards. Different. Wasn't good. Just different. Now, as far as who they start next week, I mean, you're playing the Lions. Start Mitch. Start Mitch. Go ahead. Or start Nick. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It really does not matter. Because you can't get these guys protected enough for them to do what they want to do. And although Mitch looks better because he's more mobile, he's still throwing on the run. He's still throwing while rolling out. And he's not very good at that. He's also not very good at throwing while he's in the pocket. So neither option's great. Denard in the live. What's good, my boy? Nick Hip still messed up, right? Listen, Nick Hip is going to be messed up as long as until Matt figures out, maybe Mitch ain't the answer again. The Chosen One says he'll QB for 17 an hour. Bro, upsell yourself, bro. Come on, bro. The Broncos put a wide receiver at quarterback today for more than 17 an hour. Bro, upsell yourself, my boy. Upsell yourself. Don't do that to yourself, Chosen One. Come on now. B.U. Hobson, roll the dice with Kaiser or Bray. No. Bray looked terrible the entire time. Kaiser's not the answer. You don't have an answer at quarterback. Ride this season out. You do not have an answer at the quarterback position. Ride this season out with whoever you want. But do not make another change. Ride it out. I don't want to see Nick back there. I'm going to be honest with you. If I had to pick, I'd put Mitch back there because I don't want to see a man die on the field. I don't want to see another man die on the field. So if you're going to put somebody back there, put the guy back there who's not going to die. Jackson Rosenthal, do you believe the rumors that Nagy has lost the locker room? I mean, if tonight's game is any indication, possibly. This is the first time I've seen this Bears team just give up under him. Like last year, we were like, they didn't play their best. It kind of looked like they gave up. No, we could all see it tonight, though. This is the first time we've seen this Bears team give up. And it was on national TV. Can I say for a fact that he's lost the locker room? No, but I've never seen this Bears team just 110% give up under him. That's tough. If anything, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. If anything, that is the worst thing I've ever seen. Let's look ahead to this Viking game next week, man. What y'all want me to tell you about the Viking game next week? What would you like to hear to make you feel better, Bears fans? Because I don't think I can go on here and realistically tell you the Bears are going to win. You've got a Viking team that is playing better. Matthew Stafford's still on the team, so you've got still got the worst quarterback in the division. Adrian Peterson could possibly have a career game against you. I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't pick this Bears team to win in confidence. I can't pick this Bears team to win in confidence. Now, do I see I see Michael Brown in the chat. We're going 5-11 now. Christian Jackson 5-11, looking 5-11 to be honest. The Bears will stumble into a couple more wins. They'll have a game where we'll be like, "Oh, that was mildly entertaining," and they'll stumble into a couple more wins. But yeah, so I don't see him at 5-11, but I don't see him as a playoff team either anymore. I think your playoff hopes died tonight. And I know you're still in the hunt, but I think your playoff hopes pretty much died tonight. As far as Akeem Hicks, I mean, a lot of people in the chat asking, is Akeem Hicks coming back? When's he coming back? I wouldn't. It's a hamstring, bro. We saw him come up a little gimpy trying to chase down, who was that? 2 weeks ago. Who did we have 2 weeks ago? That would have been, hold on, give me a second here. Kirk Cousins. Would have been Kirk Cousins. That's a tough one. When you're trying to chase down somebody and that hamstring goes on you, especially at that big, that size, it's tough to say whether he's going to be back. You know what I'm saying? That's a tough one to say whether he's going to be back. You hope for the best. You need him. You clearly saw that tonight that you need him. Like I said, without him there, you're going to be watching Adrian Peterson run up and down the field on you. But I'll tell you this, if you do go out tomorrow and you lose 6 straight, I would almost guarantee you'll see some change at Halas Hall. If you lose 6 straight, I would almost guarantee that you would see some change at Halas Hall. I would almost guarantee 6 straight, somebody's head's going to roll. Now, who that person is, you know how the Bears like to do it. They be like, "Oh, we fired the strength coach." It could be something stupid like that. But there's going to be some kind of move to scare everybody or just to let people know that there's a change coming here at the end of the season. You're going to see some change. Mal Gooley, Nagy says he's not concerned about losing his job. Of course he's not. He can't worry about it. And if they do fire him, who cares? He signed till 2022. He's got a check in his pocket. He goes back to being probably a play caller somewhere. More than likely. Who would I like at GM? Louis Riddick's not a bad name. It's a name I keep hearing getting floated around. First off, a black dude at the GM position. Might pick a black quarterback every now and then. I'm just saying we've missed out on a few good ones. But I would love to see Louis Riddick there, and Louis Riddick expressed interest in the job, and so I think that would be a name who would go well with the Chicago Bears. Brian's, I'm late. What was your opinion on Trubisky? Still bad. That was my opinion, Brian's. Shout out to you, bro. William Hickman Jr. Riddick would be better than Pace. I really like Louis Riddick. First off, mad swag on Louis Riddick. And every time somebody puts up a picture of him for like a Bears GM position, it's always him just like, I'm like, where y'all find this picture, man? Let my mans be great. But yeah, I would really like Louis Riddick if he came in there. I go sign Dak. I mean, look, if they ain't gonna pay him, yeah. But what are you putting him behind? Because you put him behind this offensive line, he gonna be back on IR. You got to address the offensive line. You can sign whatever quarterback you want. You have to address the offensive line. You have to address the offensive line. That is the number one thing you need to address going into this season. Lincoln Riley as a head coach? I'm cool on that. I'm definitely cool on that. Lovey 2021? Let's also be cool on that as well. The Lovey era has passed. Let's not go back to the past, y'all. Let's keep moving forward. What else we got in there? Trade Akeem Hicks. When I trade Akeem Hicks, trading Akeem Hicks, I like I said, I don't want to break this defense up. I really don't. I would rather you. I think in football it's much easier to turn around than in any other sport. Because if you address a couple key positions, all of a sudden you're able to make that move to get to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're able to make that move. We've seen that time and time again where teams are going from worst to first, especially in the NFL. So I could be cool with keeping the defense together, not trading Akeem Hicks, not trading Khalil Mack, not trading those pieces, because you built a Super Bowl defense. And you built a defense that, for the most part, even when some of those big names are gone, can withstand the test of time and still be a competitive defense, still be a top 15 defense. You got to build this offense up. And that starts with building up this offensive line. If you build this offensive line, both quarterbacks on your team don't look nearly as bad as we've seen them look. Now, they've been horrible. But maybe you get to mediocre. And mediocre is really all we were asking for coming into this season. That's really all we were asking for coming into this season. Let me see. Nagy and Pace era is over. Trying to see if it's any more questions in the chat. How about Josh McDaniels? I'm cool. It's that Belichick tree. Really, Vrabel's the only one who's really worked out from the Belichick tree. By the way, if you're in the live right now, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports weekly. Who do you want the Bears to draft at QB? I don't even want the Bears. Now, listen, if you think a franchise QB is coming through this year, go after them. If you're in position, go after them. But you need to be looking at offensive linemen. You really need to be looking at offensive linemen in this draft. I don't even want to look at the QBs until we address this offensive line. Pagano is our interim head coach. Why not? Everybody wants to say Pagano was this terrible head coach. He didn't get the job done in Indy. He didn't do things the right way. When you lose Andrew Luck, it changes things a lot. Like a lot. Like, that's a big change. Like, you went from Andrew Luck to Jacoby Brissett. Not saying Jacoby Brissett's terrible, but there's a gap. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not venging the live. What's good, my boy? I'm not tripping on Pagano's past on this. I wouldn't mind seeing him come in, do some things with the Bears. Hey, let's see what we can make happen. Vince, what you talking about? Sell the defense, fire Nagy and Pace. I mean, obviously, I'm not on the sell the defense train, bro. I'm not on the sell the defense train. Because you need to address one thing. Listen, Bears fans, talk with me here. Talk with me. Listen to me. Let's have this conversation. Do we like our wide receivers? I love Allen Robinson. Now, whether he's here at the end of the year, I doubt it. But I love Allen Robinson. I really like Darnell Mooney. I like Anthony Miller. Those are three wide receivers. Okay? How about our running back? Running back is a position we absolutely need to address. Cordell Patterson ain't it. I mean, he runs hard, but he ain't a running back. He just ain't. He's a special teams guy. Let him be what he is. David Montgomery, I can live with if you got a nice offensive line. What's the positions that we hate most? Quarterback and offensive line. Now, quarterback's a lot harder to find. But can you find guys to fix this offensive line? Can you find pieces that go in? And if you're thinking that you have some good guys on this team, I think a lot of us think that Cody Whitehair is a pretty good center. I think that a lot of us think, from what I'm hearing in running back rooms, in the offensive line circles from the offensive linemen that I know, James Daniels is that dude. He's very soft-spoken. He shouldn't be a center, but he is a 10 to 15-year player in the NFL who's going to always be there and do things the right way for you. So in theory, you need to find two. You need to find two offensive linemen. And one guy who can be all right. We've got plenty of the all right guys. We've got too many of the all right guys. So if you're able to find a couple offensive linemen, then you address your quarterback. And guess what? I've seen teams do that in a season. Maybe not the quarterback part, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think there's any way that either of the guys we saw are as trash as we saw them be. Now, they are the trash. They are trash. But I think that with an offensive line, both guys play better. Does Mitch play better if he has time to make a decision? Probably. Does Nick play better if he has time to make a decision? Probably. I'm not saying that that's getting you to a Super Bowl, but I'm saying that it can be patchwork until you find your guy, which then you can address in the next draft or in this draft. If you find all your guys in one draft, more power to you. But there's easier ways to go from worst to first in the NFL than any other sport in America. In the world, probably, in all honesty. Although soccer, you can kind of buy all of your talent if you got the money for it. But that's a whole nother story. But it's a lot easier to go from worst to first. And so if you think about it, we need three guys. You got to find two offensive linemen at least. If you find nothing else in this draft, you need to find two offensive linemen that are going to stand in there for the next 10 years. After that, if you find a quarterback of the future, if you find a dude that's mediocre, if you find somebody that you can hitch your wagon to for a couple years that can get you to the playoffs, you know what's going to help them? People blocking in front of them. The 5 fat dudes that stand in front of them and make it happen. Find you some good fat dudes. Find you some good fat dudes. That's all I'm saying. If you're in the live right now and you agree with me, like the video, man. If you're in the live and you agree, like the video. Jay Crit, shout out to you for joining the live, my boy. Oh, updated photo for you, my man. Mr. Crit with the updated photo. I didn't know who you were there for a second, my boy. Gotta let Mitch walk. Can't give that dude another contract. I don't think anybody was thinking about it. I think tonight broke the truthers. Zach Trost, did you expect it to be this bad of a game? And how do you feel about Rodgers making the defense look terrible? It's Aaron Rodgers. I expected the Bears to lose this game. Did I want it? Was I rooting for it? No. You'll never see me root for a Bears loss. I don't care if we're 2-14 and the loss means the first pick in the draft. I am never going to root for the Bears to lose. This is my hometown team. Bear down. I got Bears stuff all over the place. This is the team I root for. But I did not come into this game expecting a victory. My boy called me. Shout out J-Mart. J-Mart called me before and was like, how you think this game is going to go tonight? It's going to get ugly. But maybe Mitch does something that we've seen him do before. Every now and then he comes out with a game. Maybe this is the night. I would love for it to be the night. Ghost, you think we need rotational run stoppers? I think that comes back next year. The loss of Goldman was bigger than anybody could account for. The loss of Eddie Goldman was bigger than anybody could account for. Real talk. I think you need to go into this offseason. You need to address your offensive line. Absolutely. First thing. No, not first thing. Hold on. You need to fire Ryan Pace first thing. First thing you need to do the day that the 2020 season ends, you need to bring Ryan in. Hey, Ryan, good to see you. You should have brought a box with you because we're going to need you to pack stuff up. You know what? We'll mail it to you. You got to go. We can't stand you anymore. Next thing, if you decide to keep Nagy, hey, that's on your next GM. GMs usually want to bring in their own guy. I would recommend bringing in some other pieces. But I think tonight we saw that Nagy gave it up. Hey, you got to go. Hey, Matt. You get in Ryan's box. He's carrying you out the door with him. You gotta go. Everyone has their own box. They just carry a coach out with them. Matt has Bill Lazor and his. Bill Lazor has Juan Castillo and his. Chuck Pagano thinks he's gone, but he actually gets to stay. I'm fine with those options. I'm fine with those scenarios. I'm very fine with those scenarios. You know what I'm saying? But once you get them out, the player personnel on the field, you need to address the offensive line. I guarantee you, if this line takes a step forward, we will be looking at a completely different Chicago Bears team. Now, you still got to have somebody back there, quarterback, to sling that thing, but I don't think that you have to. I don't think that you have to rebuild this entire thing. I don't think that you have to blow it up, trade it, get a bunch of draft picks in here, because that never works in the NFL. And that's really all I'm saying with that. That never works in the NFL. What do you think will happen with Robinson? I think A-Rob's gone. It's gingivitis. If one of the top QBs are available, would you trade one or more first-round picks for him? How are you going to protect him? What is his playing style? Is he a statue? Is he a mobile quarterback? Is he the guy? And once again, are you going to be able to protect him? It comes back to that. Y'all can ask the question different ways. It comes back to that. Here's the problem. Buster Screen is terrible. The D-line turns into garbage. If Hicks is not in the lineup, O-line can't help Mitch at all. Refs don't call penalties and terrible tackling. Oh, the tackling. Oh, okay. Now we got something new to talk about here. The tackling. Are they even practicing tackling anymore? I don't know if y'all know the purpose of football, but when you on defense, and I'm no savant or nothing, I've said that before, but when you on defense, I believe the object of the game is to wrap up the guy that has the ball before he gets past that yellow imaginary line and lean with him coming down. Not to throw your shoulder into him and try to blow him up every single play. Blowing him up is great if you have another guy there with his arms out to tackle him. But the Bears have taken the everybody blow him up approach, and they end up just running into each other, blowing each other up, and then he goes running down the field for a 20-yard pickup. Maybe I don't know football. Maybe it's just me. But I thought that was the purpose of football. Maybe y'all can let me know something. Because the Chicago Bears tackling is atrocious. Atrocious. God, I can't say the word. Atrocious. It ain't coming out right. I know it's wrong. That's okay. That's okay. You understand. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's really bad. I mean, that tackling is a joke. I would love to get one of the former Chicago Bears on here to talk about some tackling and talk about this defense, because I think that there's a lot of question. Atrocious. I can't say it. Why am I putting an H on it? I can't say it. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Don't make fun of me. I can't say Simeon either. Leave me alone. But it's horrible. It's horrible. And I'm not going to lie to you. Games like this make me feel like, is this defense what we thought it was? And I think we're seeing now that it's not. It's not the dominant, show-stopping defense that 2018 was, but it's still really good. But the tackling on this team, horrible. And it's not just one dude. If it was just Eddie Jackson, I could almost live with it. Because you know what I want Eddie Jackson out there doing? I want him ball hawking. I want him picking the ball off, taking it back to the house. I'm fine with that. But Roquan's bad. Jalen Johnson's iffy. Now, Jalen Johnson, I'm giving him a pass because, young guy trying to get it together. Huge hit. Oh, my God, he blew my man's up. Was that Valdez Scantling that he put that hit on? Who was that he put that hit on? I don't remember. Big hit, man. Big hit. My prediction for next week, Lazard. That's who it was. Shout out to Vinge. Lazard. Yeah, that was nasty. Somebody pray for his family. Somebody play for his family. Hey, I'm not even going to lie to you. I like all of the, every now and then there's like a spree of questions, and then somebody just wants to remind me, Buster Screen sucks. Thank you. Appreciate you guys for that. Appreciate you guys for that one. My prediction for next week, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the streak continues. I think Matthew Stafford comes in here, chops us up. The Bears are coming up against a team that has a chip on their shoulder because week 1 of the season, they think they're supposed to win that game. They're one play away from winning that game, and they can't get the job done on a last-second play. Bears end up coming out with a win to start the season 1-0. Listen, there's going to be trouble. There's going to be trouble. There's going to be trouble for sure. So I don't see the Bears getting the W in that one. And that one sucks. You know what I'm saying? That means 6 losses in a row. You're 5-7. You're going into what's the week after that? Now you're actually getting into the games where you probably should win. You got the Texans after that, Vikings, and then Jaguars, and then you got the Packers again. But I don't see him getting the W in the next game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't see him getting the W in the next game. I am gonna get up out of here though. It is your boy. Oh yeah, shout out Chump Sizzle. R.I.P. the man who bet $100K on the Bears. Yeah, that guy. Oh my God. Oh man, keep your heart up, man. I mean, if he's betting $100K, he's probably got it. I'm assuming it's not his life savings, but you never know. You never know. I'm going to get up out of here, guys. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Before we get out of here, let me get a Bear Down in the chat from everybody. We're still Bears fans. Y'all know how we do on this page. Bear Don. We were Bears fans before Matt Nagy was here. We were Bears fans before John Fox. We were Bears fans before Mark Trestman. We were Bears fans before Lovie Smith. Well, I wasn't born before him. But we were Bears fans before then. I guess I was. We're Bears fans before Wani. How far back can we go? We're going to continue to be Bears fans. We love our team. That's the problem. We are masochists. Bear Dons in the chat all around. Love to see it, love to see it, love to see it. I am going to get up out of here. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again, Chicago. Y'all stay safe out there, man, and make sure y'all continue watching more of our Chicago sports content. Peace.